Consolidation and Busing by Casey Beach, Nicole Leach, Taylor Showalter, and Marla Beck. Do you enjoy riding the bus in the morning? Probably not too much, especially for long times. However, it is nice to have that transportation to school every morning. Governor Rendell is looking to cut the number of school districts in Pennsylvania from 501 to 101. This could be quite a change. How would transportation be affected? It is really a good idea to consider busing situations. Currently, there are no mileage or time limits on school bus transportation in Pennsylvania exists. Pennsylvania laws do not require schools to provide transportation for schools, with exception of charter schools. Riding the bus is a privilege and not a right. Therefore, if schools consolidate, kids may ride the bus for hours and for many miles. This would interrupt sports and after-school activities. All activities would have to be pushed to later in the evening. This would especially cause problems for teams that share gyms. For example, if the girls' basketball team has practice after school, then the boys would practice after. However, this would probably have to be till 9 or later at night. In effect, students would not be home until very late, which could cause a decrease in student academic performance due to lack of study time and sleep. The Board of the School Directors in any of the school districts provides for free transportation of any resident pupil to and from kindergarten, elementary, or secondary school in which he or she is lawfully enrolled. If the school buses would have to pick up extra kids, the schools would have to provide more buses for the students. This would mean more gas to be bought to fill up the buses, which would just add extra costs to the school funds. District officials estimate they'll spend about $2.75 million on diesel fuel alone for the 2008-2009 year due to cost increases. So if the cost of $3 per gallon times however many buses would increase the school costs, where they might have to cut on costs of either school supplies, after-school activities, and also school field trips. Also, where would they store the extra buses? Another problem could be with students with disabilities that ride separate buses with an adult monitors might have to share a few miles of their route to pick up kids who are farther away from the school bus stop. Lastly, bus safety. Too many kids on the bus may cause many problems. For example, profanity, gangs of older kids, weapons, and many more things. Violence and chaos could also erupt from rival schools being combined all on a crowded bus. Normal school travel hours are defined as 6 a.m. to 8:59 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 4:59 p.m. each weekday from September 1st through June 15th, as stated by the National Association for People Transportation. In New York, students in grades K through 2 are eligible for free transportation if they reside within a 1/2 a mile or more from the school. They are eligible for half-fare transportation if they reside less than half a mile from the school. Students in grades 3 through 6 are eligible for free transportation if they reside a mile or more from the school. They are eligible for half-fare transportation if they reside within a 1/2 a mile or less than a mile from the school. Students in grades 7 through 12 are eligible for free transportation if they reside 1.5 miles or more from their school. They are eligible for half-fare transportation if they reside 1/2 mile and less than 1.5 miles away from the school. Bus routes are not allowed to exceed 5 miles one way through all stop points. The school bus needs to have a route for kindergartners with no less than 11 schools. They must have a bus for students in mixed grades with no less than 11 students. No bus route is allowed to operate over a borough or county line. New Jersey and Ohio do not have any specifications on their busing. In Maryland, students in pre-K and kindergarten are expected to walk to and from school if they live within 1/2 miles of the school. Students in grades 1 through 8 are expected to walk if they live within 1 mile of the school. Students in grades 9 through 12 are expected to walk to school if they live within 1.5 miles of the school. On the contrary, in certain areas in Pennsylvania, like Northern Bedford School District, students are required to ride the bus to school. Students may be expected to walk up to 1 mile to a bus stop. Similarly, students may have to walk a short distance to a bus stop in our area. What would it take to pass a law like this consolidation proposal? The lawmaking process consists of 10 main steps. Step 1 is an introduction by a member of the General Assembly and committee referral. A bill may be introduced in the House or Senate. After a reading, it goes to a Chambers committee, which refers it to a standing committee. Committee consideration is step 2. A committee can kill a bill by failing to act on it, or it may issue a report on the bill that is favorable with amendments, favorable with committee substitution, unfavorable, or without opinion. In Step 3, favorability reported bills first get read, by title only, on the floor of the chamber. Bills that have been reported unfavorably or without opinion are not likely to go further. Step 4 includes a second reading. The bill is read by title a second time and sent to the Rules Committee. This powerful committee can vote to send it back to a standing committee, where it is likely not to get passed, or place it on the agenda for legislature, usually by the leader, makes a motion to have the bill placed upon its passage. Open debate follows. The bill can be amended on the floor, though each amendment must be found to be related or germane to the bill's original subject. To pass, a regular bill must be approved by at least 2/5 of the General Assembly, which is 40 House members and 17 senators, and by a majority of the members present and voting. Bills that call for spending or contain emergency clauses must be approved by 51 House members and 20 senators. Step 6 goes to the other chamber. Bills defeated on the floor can be reconsidered if 2 members who voted against it request its reconsideration and a majority approves. Bills approved on the floor go to the other chamber, where they follow much the same procedure as in the first chamber. Conference is held in Step 7. Both chambers must agree on the final form of each bill. If either chamber refuses, the differences must be reconciled by a conference committee made up of the members from both chambers. Such committees can make significant changes in the bills, but their compromises must be approved by both chambers. Step 8 is enrollment. After passage by both chambers, each bill is read carefully to make sure its wording is correct, and then is signed by the presiding officer of each chamber and sent to the governor. It goes to the governor in Step 9. The governor may sign a bill, permit it to become a law without his signature, or veto it. The governor has 10 days to act on a bill after receiving it. Finally, it goes back to the General Assembly on Step 9. Now the bill can be passed over a governor's veto by a majority of the members of both chambers.